Hello everyone, welcome to the after market analysis session as we do every day. This is the after market analysis session where we look at the Nifty and Bank Nifty market, the Indian market's Nifty Bank Nifty after it closes to see what happened, but with the order flow. We try to read the footprints properly. Okay. So if you are new, want to learn order flow, want to learn how to use footprints effectively, and want to learn how to use GoCharting well, you can join this live session every day at 5 p.m. You will find the link to this live session on the GoCharting, our Discord community and Telegram community. And if you are using GoCharting at that time, a notification will also pop up on the right side here, and you will get the link to the session here. You can also join from here. In any case, if you miss this recording, if you miss this live session, then the recording of this live session is uploaded on every YouTube channel of GoCharting. The link to all GoCharting YouTube channels, whether in English, Hindi, or Spanish, will be available in the description. So go ahead, watch the video, comment, like, and subscribe. We upload a lot of information, recording order flow cases. Before looking at today's Nifty order flow, let's once check the confirmations from the volume profile to see what confirmations the volume profile had given us. Okay, yesterday's volume node was this. Okay, we had marked this volume node, and there was also a BIPOC zone here. In any case, if this broke, yesterday's low could have acted as a support. Why could that low act as support? Because Nifty had broken all its swing lows in a big cap move. So for this reason, we marked this as well. If it went to the upside, as it did today, we had the previous day's volume note. Up to here, this was quite a large zone, a playing zone. And in between, the previous swing was ours. Okay. Due to it being quite a large zone, we took some reference from previous sessions. Okay, where the market had gone into a consolidation zone for quite a few days. So this was the volume profile of that consolidation zone. Okay. So with simple levels, we now see how the footprint gave confirmations on these levels. And the good thing is that we got quite good confirmations from the footprint on these levels. Here I am using a cluster chart. You can adjust the tick size according to your auto settings, because these days there are very large moves happening. So keep the tick size of Nifty at 200 plus. The greater the volatility, the more the market will move. The larger the tick size should be. The less movement there is, the less volatility, the smaller the tick size should be. Here you can set the tick size, and for less, you can keep it around 180 or 200. But when there is more movement, when the market is more volatile, you can keep it around 200 to 50 to 300. Okay? So to read the footprint properly, we will need help. Now, what is this delta and how can we use it effectively? Now, what is delta? In simple language, delta is the difference between buyers and sellers. Now, delta, what are these buyers and sellers? What do we have on the right side of the footprint? Buyers. What do we have on the left side? Sellers. Like we see the first candle, whatever value is written in the topmost line, it is the value of delta. Delta tells us the difference between buyers and sellers as shown inside the green box here. Okay, and there is no negative sign in front of any value. So that means this positive delta, this is a positive delta. Positive delta is of this candle, this positive delta. positive delta always denotes buyers. Wherever there is talk of positive delta, understand that it is about buyers. So here, how many buyers are there? What does delta indicate? The difference of buyer and seller. So now, what is the value of delta? Positive delta is higher, so that means there are more buyers here. How many buyers are there? Around 168,000, near 1 lakh, 60,000 approximately. Okay, so let's assume any number for understanding once. Like I added the buyers on the right side, it came out here. I added the footprint buyers on the right side. It came out to 2,68,000. Okay, when I added the sellers on the left side, it came out to 1,68,000. Sorry, it came out to 30,000 here. And so, sorry, again, I made a mistake. Here there is 1 lakh seller and 2,68,000 buyers. So what is the difference? 1,68,000, the same delta gave us confirmation here. We take any candle that has a negative delta. Like this candle has a negative sign. Here is the value. And in a red box here, so this means this is a negative delta, negative delta. Whenever there is talk of negative delta, understand that it is about sellers. Now, to understand how this is formed, we take any value. Like here, there are 106,000 sellers and the buyers are here, only 50,000. Okay, so that means how much more the sellers are. 56,000 is the same and its value is 1.5 lakh rupees. Now, after looking at each candle, you can tell who is more powerful within that candle, buyer or seller. Like if you pick any candle, just the candle, buyer, seller, stronger next candle, buyer, seller stronger, just by looking at the delta. Okay, like this candle is still buyer, seller stronger in this candle. So we are now getting the essence of each candle just by looking at the delta. Now, how are we going to read the footprint? Here, you will see two types of delta values. How two types of delta, like the first candle, has a very large delta. Now, without discussing negative or positive, let's just talk about delta. It will include negative. Shahrukh Bihar will also include negative, and positive will also be included. Like near 1 lakh delta, 85,000, okay, 50,000. And look at this quick, only 6,000 delta, 3,000 delta, only 7,000 delta, only 3,000, 5,000. And look here, near 1 lakh, again, near 1 lakh, again, near 50,000. So it means there are some candles whose delta is very high and some candles whose delta is very low. It means where the delta of the candles is very high, there has been a lot of buying and selling, and it has had a huge impact on the market by buyers and sellers. And where the delta is very low, there hasn't been as much buying and selling, and it has had a very minimal impact, meaning these candles are not that strong. Okay, so where is the benefit? In reading those candles that have a heavy delta, like when we read the first candle's data is very heavy. The delta is above 1 lakh. Now, within this candle, within the first candle, what is more prevalent? If there are more buyers, then what will we do? We will only read the buyer's side. The delta has indicated that within this particular candle, there are a lot of buyers, so we will only read the buyer's side. Now, which particular points are there on the buyer's side where the most buying has occurred? These are those points. So, what happened in the next candle between the two lines of the path? Again, another buying activity occurred. Meaning in the next candle, who was stronger? Again, the buyers. Again, the buyers prevailed. This is the place where the most buying happened. We mark this zone of buyers. and there was also a resistance here. After marking, what happened after these buying activities? Did the price go up or down? It went down. Okay, so if the price went down, it means both of these buying activities were absorbed here. And what does buying absorption indicate? It indicates that wherever buying occurs and the price moves in the opposite direction. So that means that buying will not act as support but will act as resistance. And what was the good thing? When it took rejection from this buying zone on the downside, we saw a significant amount of selling, which confirmed that yes, this line has been completed here. Aggressive buy sellers entered, absorbed in the candle, sellers entered, and a pullback occurred. What happened in the pullback? Negative delta everywhere means no buyer is interested here. A significant pullback occurred, held the buying absorption zone, and a movement to the downside was observed. Now, what was observed in this downside movement? This was a solid downside movement, meaning we were seeing significant selling everywhere. Okay, like here, selling, again selling, and with continuous selling, the price kept moving. Now, significant selling was observed within every candle. Here, there was selling of 91,000, 44,000, and if you look somewhere, as soon as it took rejection from here, after taking rejection from here, we saw heavy selling within these two candles. Selling of 70,000, selling of 49,000. Okay, if I mark this selling of 70,000, so there was no buying activity at all, right? In the first three candles, there was buying activity, and then negative delta in every candle. The same zone was held, and we saw another rejection. This zone, this selling of 70,000, another candle came with a significant negative delta. A negative delta of 145 means there was a lot of stronger selling within this candle. Okay, which was the zone where the most selling was from. This was that particular zone. I marked the zone. Look here. Selling had occurred. Within this zone, a lot. We marked it, right? What happened here? After this selling, did the market break this selling zone? Even a point to the downside? No, it didn't. Where did it break? The fourth candle after the next three candles broke to the upside and broke with substantial buying. Okay. And it continued to wind up to where? Resistance. Okay, with solid buying. We couldn't have expected that it would leave from the resistance because there was a very large amount of buying. Again, it came back to the pullback at 127,000, not at 5,000. Held on. Significant selling came at the time of the pullback. 49,000 of selling. These candles confirm that yes, the market came here once with selling, but all the selling is being absorbed here again. It held well, and we saw another movement to the upside. At the time of selling absorption, okay, again, this was the first time for buyers. Buyers made an attempt here. Okay, very large buyers made an attempt. The delta is telling us. As soon as it came back here, again, there was another buying attempt. Now, what happened after this buying? If I mark that buying zone, what happened after this buying? Again, a buying attempt was made. This time the price went upwards. So that means this resistance was broken, and even after the solid buying and breaking, the buying continued. 57,000 delta, 124,000 delta. Okay, again 44,000 delta. Continue. One pullback. A pullback came. At the time of the pullback, again selling came. 42,000 selling, 25,000 selling. Continue selling. I am again selling at 42,000, selling at 25,000, and selling at AK 1117. But what happened after this selling was that selling occurred here, and the confidence was not found that the market would go up again from here. Again, selling occurred here. Iba, okay, when this support zone started to hold without any selling interest. Meaning, when the sellers left here, as soon as it touched the school, we were getting negative delta, negative data, negative delta. Look at these two candles now, positive delta and a decent positive delta. All the selling activity stopped here. So this is the zone where a confirmation was received that yes, this selling was absorbed at the support zone and a rejection was observed here. The closing also happened right here. If we quickly look at today's Nifty, there was one buying attempt, two buying attempts in the first two candles. This candle confirmed that it was absorbed, came on the pullback, and a downside movement followed. Again, a significant selling was observed here, where the holder zone acted as resistance, and once more, the largest selling so far occurred here. This candle confirmed that all of this selling has been absorbed here. And from here, the movement included solid buying attempts with positive data of 60, 100, and 125, and on the pullback, selling was observed. But within these three candles, there was no selling. Without any selling interest, it held here, and once again, broke to the upside with quite good buying. This caused a slight issue. In the selling of this candle, the next two or three candles confirmed that yes, the selling that happened here is also absorbed. Okay, so let's see now. Let's see what happened within Bank Nifty. It was also a very good day for Bank Nifty. We saw a lot of volume today and received very good solid confirmations in the order flow. Okay, like look at this candle. In the first candle, there was significant buying, but substantial buying occurred here, 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 and here. In four back-to-back candles, we observed a positive delta with a positive delta of 38K in this zone. Even if we skip the first candle, this was the zone where we saw the best buying. Now what happened was the price moved up or came down. It came down from here with significant selling activity, held down, and there was another downside move. In Nifty, I think it was the 1035 candle where we saw substantial selling. Here too, there was a significant selling I curve. And if we mark the selling zone, selling was absorbed here as well. And throughout the day, Bank Nifty just remained between these two zones throughout the day. It moved to the upside from here. There was an even better pullback here. During this pullback, there wasn't as much significant selling activity observed. Buying absorption happened, selling absorption happened. There is rejection from here. It came to this pullback from here. The upside took rejection from here. Did it close? Okay, if anyone has any doubts, you can ask them.